What's up? This is your host Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible today and Non-Fungible tomorrow. And how was your weekend? For me, my weekend was actually quite busy in the virtual space. What I did is that I created a virtual space for Digimons because I just felt like so passionate for what Baby Chess is doing with regards to digital ashram. So I created this virtual space. But the reason why I'm mentioning this in the start of the video is that if you are interested in what he's doing, I'm not affiliated with the team, but he has given me free whitelist to give away for Digimon's Generation 2. Okay, so you want to get the whitelist to mint this, definitely you have to take note of this. What you can do is that you can come here, join the virtual space, find this digital ashram, take a photo, and comment in this thread what you're grateful for. So you can find this on my profile. So a bunch of people has been commenting on what they're grateful for, but it's not too late to join. Feel free to check that out. So today, big news today. Okay, so this week, actually not today, but this week we have an important news. This week is gonna be super big for traditional stocks. Okay, stock market, yada yada, super big, right? But it's gonna be even bigger for cryptocurrency, and I will share with you why. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at the traditional markets, right? If we really look at the traditional markets, we do see that the market is actually quite cautious. It's actually taking a dip right now, right? Both Asia and Europe market, right? And the reason for this is that investors are looking ahead to next Fed meeting. What does it mean? If you look at this week's calendar, you have a lot of key dates. Look at these reds, right? So what are these red dates, right? You have retail sales on Thursday and so on. So we have a very big week ahead of us, okay? So according to investing.com, US economic data is coming out this week. On Tuesday, we have the CPI numbers. So CPI numbers, sorry, will tell you about how inflation is in the US, okay? So last time when we have the CPI numbers, it was basically good. It wasn't as hot as expected. It shows that inflation was being controlled. Are we going to see this continuation this month, right? Are we going to see inflation being controlled in November, right? And if you really think about it, right, after a few more months, right, when we look back at the retroactive data, because winter is getting cold, people are going to spend more money to increase electricity, and energy prices are expensive, right? And maybe that number would fluctuate as well, right? And definitely that will affect the market because it will affect how the Fed's, raise interest rate hike. And Thursday, we have the retail sales number. Okay, so it tells you how is the retail sales, right? And then you have jobless claims. So you have a bunch of important numbers that are actually coming out this week, and therefore this will be a huge week for the traditional market and cryptocurrency market. But one of the most important thing is Wednesday. We have the FOMC economic projections and FOMC statement, right? So that usually when you have these FOMC meetings, it's gonna affect the markets, right? So if you look at this, Chi of Alpha was saying that actually the CPI and FOMC is coming this week for the first time in a while, Tuesday and Wednesday. So you can expect a huge volatility, right? Expected 3.7 CPI, 0.3% month over month, previous 7.7, so it's lower than month over month, right? Core CPI, so 6.1, previous 6.3. So everyone is kind of thinking like it will go down, right? So this is on Tuesday, right? If it goes down, then the market might be better. But right now, as the market seems to be like dumping a little bit because of front running this, right? But usually it might pump into anticipation. We do not know, right? But we have to see whether inflation is being controlled, whether this number is lower than last month, right? And one important thing is that 75% odds for 50 basis point increase. So this is the number that we will see on Wednesday, right? FOMC meeting comes up, the Feds will say, Jerome Powell will say, hey, we're gonna increase how many interest rate. That will actually affect this, right? So a lot of these key dates you gotta see. So according to Chi Alpha, right? Don't get confused by the 7.3 estimated CPI compared to 7.7, right? Since CPI is a 12-month sliding window, this does not mean we are expecting a drastic slowdown in inflation. Only that November 2021 was a 0.9 increase and did not count it in year over year anymore, right? So even though our CPI is going to be 0.4% lower than the previous one, our monthly change is only 0.1%, right? So that's why he or she is setting expectations, right? Because traders, smart traders, will actually can read the numbers and really understand the percentage points, right? So rates are expected to see another 50 basis point increase, but the odds are likely to shift after the CPI print. So we will see the CPI on Tuesday, and then the Feds will come out on Wednesday to decide on the numbers, right? CPI print should have a stronger effect. A very good print will seal us towards 50 basis point, and a bad print more to 75 basis point. the playbook is long 7.1 yearly CPI and below, short 7.5, right? So if the CPI is 7.5 and above, then he's gonna short, right? But if it's lower, 7.1 yearly CPI, then he will long, right? Wait for FOMC odds to be priced in before making a decision. So these 2 days are actually the worst time you can trade, right? Because it is gonna be super volatile. It is gonna be very dominated by these inflation numbers, right? So keep in mind how weaker the SPY and BTC correlation has been after everyone in the space blew up, right? While there should be a decent swap, be careful not to rely on start to carry crypto majors too much. Both numbers should be posted here as fast. Okay, so he's gonna tweet about it, right? So here's what you got to know, right? These numbers, right? If this is lower than expected, then it's possibly a good number, but not 7.3, like not just at 7.3, right? Because the actual increment is actually lower because of the year-over-year effect, right? So 7.1 number that we can look at, okay? So if it's 7.1 or 7.3, it's kind of like a neutral zone. So we'll have to see basically how the traders and the market react, right? But the most important thing is the Wednesday number, okay? Because the Wednesday number will basically be revealing, okay, if the Fed's gonna tighten interest rate or lower it, right? All right, so moving on to crypto news. If you go to crypto news, crypto market cap is at 844 billion. Bitcoin is 16,990. Ethereum 1,254. So we trace back, right? Because you have these huge numbers, and some people might want to de-risk, right? Same for stable coins, but in general, crypto is in a mess because Coinbase, right? So this isn't really related to the mess, but it really shows you how these exchanges are trying to get more liquidity into their own asset, right? Own issued asset. So Coinbase will waive fees for converting Tether's stablecoin USDT for the token Coinbase backs, right? USDC. So what they're saying is that, hey, if you are on Coinbase, if you hold USDT, and you convert it to USDC, which is a token that Coinbase back, you can do it without fees, okay? So they're doing that, right? So it shows that stablecoins competition is heating up, right? And why Coinbase, right? Because Coinbase is actually some people say Coinbase is actually very centralized, right? Because they can actually freeze the funds immediately. Well, actually USDT could also do that, right? But it shows that they are more aggressive, right? They're more aggressive in hoping people to use the stablecoins. But this is actually the USDC, right? Both stablecoin are allegedly pegged $1 to $1 and claim to be backed by a highly liquid asset, a treasury bill, right? So Tether is saying that the Coinbase move was wildly inappropriate. So yeah, we'll see whether this will affect, right? Because look at this, right? Binance themselves also said they will implement a system that automatically converts USDC and most other stablecoins into BUSD, right? So USDT is left out of Binance Exchange. So a lot of exchanges are trying to get more liquidity on the stablecoins that they issue. So this kind of shows that the battle for stablecoins is actually just happening. And one of the things that actually came out this weekend is that Binance issued the proof of reserve like last week. What happened is that Mr. Well is saying that Binance alleged crypto audit failed. Not even its auditor will vouch for it, right? Mazars, which is the auditor, say its performance were using agreed upon procedure requested by Binance, and that we make no representation regarding the appropriateness of the procedure, and agreed upon engagement is non-audit review or other assurance engagement, right? So this one, this is saying that, and therefore some influencers have been saying that, hey, ZZ and Binance is giving away previous FTX vibe, and they're telling people to remove the funding because from centralized exchange in general. Okay, so centralized exchanges are getting a lot of scrutiny, and also whether they really own these reserve, right? Because if you look at it, Coinbase, it was Crypto.com that also came out with the proof of reserve, but it was also edited by Mazars, right? So we really have to see. So that's why a lot of people say, not your keys, not your crypto. That's why you need to move crypto to your wallet rather than keeping it in the exchanges. But at these times, at very volatile times, a lot of people are still holding some stable coins in the exchanges, hoping that it dumps and then they can buy lower, right? So it is really a conflicting thing that is happening in the market. So another thing is that actually another reason why this week is big, not just for this equity market, is because crypto. Charles Hawkinson is saying that he heard a rumor. Okay, so this is an AMA he did like 2 days ago. During the weekend, he said he heard a rumor that the SEC versus Ripple case will be settled in December 15, 2022. He did not say how it will be settled, but he's saying that, hey, actually in 3 days time, there's a chance that it will be settled, right? So if the court ruled in favor of the SEC, that it will be terrible for all type of crypto, especially those that Gary Gensler has his eyes on. Like for example, he mentioned that because Ethereum is could be staked, right? So maybe that could be categorized as a security, right? So you have all of this stuff that will affect the cryptocurrency market if it's ruled in favor of the SEC. But if rule in favor of Ripple, right, then maybe it will be good for the cryptocurrency market in general, right? So it basically means that the SEC cannot categorize all things as securities and have regulations and also jurisdiction over it, right? So it really depends, right? But some people are saying that this is false, this is just a rumor. If this is true, the market will be moving because of this, right? So yeah, we'll have to see on the 15th whether this is true, right? Whether this rumor is just a rumor, right? Guys, you have to know this is a rumor, but the market does move on rumors. But if it's very volatile, it's because of equities and also traditional market reasons, right? At the same time, at normal altcoin trading on Binance, just market behavior, say CEO, right? So what happened is that during the weekend, Sun, Adria, Osmo Fund, and GLM has actually had a huge spike up, and some addresses was able to make a lot of money. But Binance was just saying that these are market normal market behaviors, right? But some of these accounts were locked from withdrawing the money because they made money, so they are doing an internal investigation, right? So they're saying that it has nothing to do with compromised account or leak APIs. Okay. Another thing, SPF plans new venture to repay FTX collapse victims, right? Claim did not commit fraud, so FPF is still saying that he did not commit fraud. So to BBC, he's thinking like how to help the world, and if users haven't gotten much back, so he's thinking of like maybe starting a new business. And then maybe the money making from that business could be repaid to the people, right? But it's very hard, right? Once you lose the trust in the space, who will use a platform that you build, right? It really depends on also what you build. So guys, moving on to NFT and Metaverse news, right? So Satoshi, which is actually quite interesting because this weekend I actually did an interview with Wei, right? So Wei, NAS and Desktop. This video came out this weekend. Is about the upcoming launch, right? I think it's very fitting in a sense that he actually mentioned in this video that the main idea of Satoshi and Crazy is not about having a leader but making leaders out of people. And so interestingly, this news just came out. Satoshi is saying that he is actually coming back, and End of Satoshi NFT could be a path to free claims to crypto art from great crypto artists, right? So there is a Medium article, but Mirror article, but it's very hard to know if this is really Satoshi, right? And also why Satoshi is coming back, right? So we still have yet to see, to be honest, because no one really knows who's Satoshi. So if this is really Satoshi, we really have to see. So this came out yesterday, right? So placing blitz on Blur, be careful not canceling them because there's an issue that be dangerous to traders, so definitely be more careful when you do bid. So there's actually a class action lawsuit alleged that MoonPay and Guy also work with Yuga Labs to convert paying celebrities to own the Bored Ape NFT, right? So they besides the staking that they're doing, there's actually some FUD around it, especially a lawsuit, right? So I think let us pretty much sum up here. Proof Anniversary just came out. They talked about how they influence the NFT community. Memeland made some change to rate the system. About Ether, CV published some information about Ether, 10k supply, 8k public, 1,750 allowed, 750 treasury. Public mint will be 1 ETH. So this had raised some eyebrow in the space. But whitelist price will be 50% of mint of public mint, right? With an option for free mint with time lock, which I think this is interesting. Free mint with time lock. So it really depends on how long or time lock, right? But how much can you lose a free mint, right? Is it the gas? So on, right? So I think this is actually quite interesting. And although there's a lot of FUD over Ether right now, and also a lot of negative comment, I think maybe the team will have to share more about this rationale, because I think a lot of people are missing this with an option for a free mint with time lock, right? This option, free mint option, right? The discrepancy is just so big that I think there's more behind the story, right? So anyways, guys, just wrapping up this week, super volatile, stay safe. This is your host, Non-Fungible TC. If you like the content, remember to like and subscribe. Signing out.